What's up, guys? We are at Southeast Game Exchange, and I'm acting like a fool. I have 55 whole dollars, 55, and I'm trying to get Sega Saturn, which doesn't happen for 55, but I'm gonna do it. We're gonna go interview some people and see if they know anything about Sega Saturn. So let's go. Should just film me while I'm walking. Let's go this way. Are you on 60 FPS? We just have to find out where the entry is. I do spot a Pac-Man case. Woo! All right, let's. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, let's see. Where is the entry? Okay, is this the line? Should we go with these people or these people? We'll go over here. Would you guys like to be interviewed for a YouTube video? As you can see, I'm using a very fancy microphone. All right, so we are here with some folks I haven't met yet, but now I'm meeting. My name's Keith.
Hi, I'm Robert.
Robert, nice to meet you, man. Toby.
Frank.
Say it again? Frank. I'm Keith. Did I say that right?
Frank,
man, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm bad of hearing, so. All right, so we are here. I always say Game Jam South, but it's not Game Jam South. It's Southeast Game Exchange. And I am asking, because not as many people talk about this, I'm asking about Sega Saturn. Are you guys familiar with Sega Saturn?
That's
you are familiar
right
with
there.
Sega Saturn.
I was a big Sega kid, and I was a big Dreamcast guy.
Okay.
But I had a Saturn for a very long time.
Okay, so that's good. So that's something, because most people just like, I don't care about Sega Saturn. All right, so what I'm doing, I've made a budget. I only have $55. As you know, Sega Saturn's a lot more than 55. Do you have any idea of a game that I could possibly get other than Madden or something? Do you think you have it? Do you mind saying that on here? Do you mind if I put the mic up to you? Okay, so he has a good suggestion. What do we got here?
Panzer Dragon.
Panzer Dragon. I was thinking it was like 70, but that's probably close. Maybe I can wiggle my way and get it. Okay. Oh, what was your name again? Justin. Okay, Justin has Panzer Dragon, so we're going to go look for that and see if we can find it. I think I have that in the collection. Definitely have Panzer Dragon, and I do have the second one. I don't know if I say it right. Zwie. And then, of course, the illicit Panzer Dragoon Saga. Now, they asked about Panzer Dragoon. I already have it, so obviously I'm not going to pick it up. People have asked in comments, if I would start doing some game review, maybe a little bit of gameplay. So here it is. I'll do my best to kind of explain. Now, Panzer Dragoon was probably, I think that and Virtua Fighter were like the first Sega Saturn games I ever played. I remember sitting around and watching my brother play. Now, one of the things I remember most is the opening sequence. Graphics are way better now, but I remember we said, what if games could look like this? And I remember being told the graphics will never get that good. It will always be, like a, what's it called? A cinema scene. And they're way better now, but that will always stand out to me. And then the opening scene of the first level, when the music comes on, just a great game. It's just really fantasy feeling. And I remember flying around and you could target the enemies and the sounds. Definitely challenging. You're fighting, like other dragons, other types of alien flying creatures, little sand lizards, I don't know, sand crabs, whatever they are. And then, of course, fighting the battleship. Just a really good game overall. I would definitely recommend picking this one up. And it's a $75 game. And I think the second one is around $100. And, of course, Panzer Dragoon Saga is around $1,100. Well, thanks, guys. Justin, Frank, Cody? Toby. I'm sorry, man. And what was that? Robert. Okay, cool. Nice to meet you guys. Thank you. All right, let's go further down. Thank you, guys. All right, we'll go further down. Are you guys okay to be interviewed for a YouTube channel? Okay, so what I'm doing... Okay, my name's Keith, by the way.
I'm Bryce.
Nice to meet you, Bryce.
Matthew.
So Bryce, Matthew.
Neil.
All right, guys. Bryce, Neil, Matthew. Did I say that right? Yeah. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm on the hunt for Sega Saturn games. That's kind of my thing, even though I'm kind of poor. But so I'm asking, do any of you guys know anything? Are you familiar with Sega Saturn? Do you collect it, or are you familiar? You got a little bit of knowledge about it. Okay. So I'm looking. I have my budget for this weekend. It's really big. Can you guess what it is?
have no idea.
So-
Panzer Dragons.
No, no, not quite. It's a whole $55. Yeah, really good, huh? Yeah. So I'm looking for a game that I could possibly get for 55 or less. Do you think you know of one?
Clockwork Knight, maybe?
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. All right, there you have it, guys. Clockwork Knight.
So I definitely do have Clockwork Knight, and I also have Clockwork Knight 2. Now, this was a platform game, and honestly, it was just real quirky, a lot of fun. Basically, you're like a Clockwork Knight. It's like a wind-up toy, and you have this key that you use, and you can spin it, and it causes the enemies to burst. And just an overall really good platform game. Has a lot of replay value. The cinema sequences were always a lot of fun. And I remember waiting for the second one to come out. We were waiting and waiting. And honestly, I think that it's basically one game that they split in two. I could be wrong, but yeah, just overall good game. There's parts where like you go through a roulette, and you can either get like something bad, or you can get 1-up or triple up, or triple up, 3 1-up, whatever it's called. And unfortunately, it was on the Sega Saturn, so not many people knew about it. But for the price, I think it's right at $50, and it's a very, very classic game.
So, Seth. Seth.
I'm Brad.
Seth. No. Wow. Bryce, Matthew, Neil. Okay, I'm bad with names, but I'll look back at this video footage. I don't know. Did I meet a Seth earlier? Okay, I don't know. It's in my head. Okay, Neil, Matthew, Bryce.
He's got a Sega Saturn shirt on.
Oh, okay. Ah, there you go. I have that one too. So that's a good one. You heard that. Virtua Cop. But would that be within 55? Yeah, I think that's like Virtua Cop 2, I think is around 40. Okay, cool. So I saw this Sega Saturn shirt. So you're a Sega Saturn collector?
Yeah.
What's your name, man? I got to meet
My
you because I don't.
name's Seth.
What? Are you serious, dude? Did you hear that? Okay, this is like a divine appointment. Okay, are you serious? Did you hear me?
No.
Did you hear this? I said, "Is your name?" I said Seth, and he was like, "No." She said, "Where did you get the name Seth?" It's of God. Okay. So I'm a Sega Saturn collector myself. I have 74 games right now. I'm trying to go for the whole library. I just got Panzer Dragoon Saga, which is probably stupid. It's really expensive, but it's cool. So, how familiar are you with? Oh, by the way, if you didn't hear, his name's Seth. Okay. How familiar are you with Sega Saturn?
I love the Sega Saturn. I'm near Two Dudes Gaming and stuff like that, so I'm familiar with all of them. So I went down there and picked up a Saturn for Christmas as one of my personal Christmas presents and stuff like that. So I went and started collecting stuff. I got the card for I can do European games, Japanese games.
Okay, is it what, the Saru or?
Yeah, it's one of those like 4
Something
gigabyte
like-
expansion
okay,
packs in the back like that. So I've got like the sports games in America. I've got Initial D for Japan, the racing game. I forgot what it's Fighting Vipers.
Fighting Vipers.
That was one of my
Sega one.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites and stuff like that. I love my Sega Saturn because all my friends come over. I'm like, you want to play Sega Saturn? They've never heard of it before.
And they want to play it?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal. I'm doing a whole series where I'm trying to get the whole entire library, and as you know, it's pretty expensive. Even the cheap games are what, like $20 to $50?
Yeah.
Can you guess of what my giant budget is? Just guess a wild number.
$5,000.
55 whole dollars today.
55?
So I'm looking for a game that I can get for $55 or less. Do you have, or around there? Do you have an idea? Do you think you might know of one? Put you on the spot for just a second.
Maybe. I'm thinking. I know the Two Dudes, if they're in there, I know they just got a few Sega Saturn games in because right before they left, I know they got a few Sega Saturn games.
There's a guy named Seth you should pay commission for. He was wearing a Sega Saturn shirt yesterday. He told me to come here, said you guys got a bunch of Saturn. You just picked up a bunch?
We had a bunch of
Saturn games? Oh. Well, he lied.
Do you think you know of one that would be 55 or less?
All I can think of is the sports games right now. Those are the only ones I saw.
Okay, sports games. Well, have you heard of Repairman?
Mm-mm.
He hasn't heard of Repairman. All right, so here's the deal. So first of all, we have the second best Sega Saturn person on Saturn Steve Mort's Garage.
Okay, so I'm editing right now, and just to kind of explain to you a little something, I've been wanting to meet Mort for a while, and I finally met him, and this is kind of how it was feeling to. Man, that sounds really weird.
Wish I could be part of Mort's world.
We have part of JRPG Life, and then Mort's Attic.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
The attic dweller.
Real quick, because I know you guys got to go. I am looking obviously for Sega Saturn, and my budget's really high.
Yeah.
It's at an entire $55.
Okay.
So I'm looking for something. Some people recommended Virtua Cop. I actually don't have that. I have Virtua Cop 2.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for something 55 or below. Are you guys familiar enough with Saturn? I figured you would be.
Magic Knight Re-Earth Repro.
Below 50. Oh.
55 or below.
Can you get it for 55 or below?
No.
Oh, well,
The
that's
most
actually
expensive Panzer Dragoon.
There you go.
That's the one to
Womp
buy.
womp. Yep, it is. That is the one for 55
I
bucks.
know a lot about the Saturn.
I would say whatever you've been advised on by Saturn Steve.
He is good at politics.
Sonic 3D Blast. It's a great game.
Hold on.
Yuji Naka should be in prison.
Sonic the Hedgehog co-creator Yuji Naka has been given a suspended prison sentence and fines of around $1.2 million, or 173 million yen, after he was found guilty of insider trading, according to a report from Japanese news outlet Chichi, via Polygon.
There you have it, guys.
Sonic 3D Blast is a good one. It hovers around that mark. But also, if you like fighting games, either Fighters Megamix. No, Fighters Megamix is great. Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I don't have this Fighters Megamix in my collection, so I went to a few booths and finally I found it at one. And the price was below budget. Unfortunately, no manual, so I'm just gonna put that up and save that find for later. But it is true, you can play with the Daytona USA car on Fighters Megamix.
We hope that whatever you get, that you get it for at least half off, sir.
Yeah.
We hope you get the deal of a lifetime.
But also, get a good console.
Oh, spicy take Josh.
Well, the hunt was still on, and I decided to ask one more person to see what they had to say.
What's up, man?
What's up? How are you, sir?
Doing all right. So I have no clue who this guy is. Would you like to tell the audience who you are?
Yes. Hi, I'm Tyler, the real T-Dog 5000. #1 connoisseur of all things but from the retro beard and Pixel Game Squad and
That's right.
all that kind of fun stuff.
Do you know what I'm looking for this week?
What are you looking for this week?
What do you think I'm looking for?
Panzer Dragoon Saga.
No, not Panzer Dragoon Saga. But do you know what else I'm looking for that is on, that Panzer Dragoon Saga is on?
That's on?
Man, I'm horrible with wording. There you go.
Xbox version?
No, but what console games am I looking for?
Oh, what Saturn games are you looking for?
Ah,
I'm always looking for Sega
that's
Saturn
right.
games.
So the question that I'm asking,
Fan, not
the real,
Saturn
that's right.
Saturn.
Saturn, you heard that. You heard it right here.
Saturn Steve.
So here's the deal. I'm asking people's knowledge of Sega Saturn because I have a giant budget. As you know, I just spent a budget. So you probably know my budget's probably really high.
Yes.
What do you think is that?
What's your
Couple million bucks. Yeah, what do you think my current budget's at?
current budget for specifically for Saturn stuff?
Right now, yeah.
Say,
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna say $400.
You were close. It's $55.
$55. You could probably get Virtua Cop.
Okay, there you go. Somebody else said Virtua Cop. So say that one more time.
Virtua Cop.
Say.
Or Virtua Cop 2.
Okay, well I have Virtua Cop 2.
I'll go for Virtua Cop.
So Virtua Cop is the first one. Somebody else mentioned it, and now the real T-Dog.
Okay, so I don't have Virtua Cop, but I do have Virtua Cop 2. Pretty much the same game. It's a classic arcade, use the light gun shooter game, and you're a cop, a Virtua Cop, I guess you could say, and it's kind of got that Time Crisis, Area 51, that style of game, the arcade shooter games. I don't have a lot to say about this. It's a lot of fun. I will say this. I didn't have it as a kid, but now my son Nehemiah loves playing this game. So if we're ever like, you want to play some retro games, he says, Dad, can I play Virtua Cop? And he just loves to hold the controller and shoot the guys. So does that mean I'm raising violence? Good game. Definitely worth the value. Now, I think Virtua Cop itself is like $30, and Virtua Cop 2 is about $40, somewhere around there. So good pickup. Good choices. Yeah.
Real T-Dog 5000.
Do you have a YouTube?
I don't have a YouTube.
You should have a
Actually,
YouTube.
I do have a YouTube, but it's all church videos, so.
You guys should definitely watch that because church videos are good.
Tyler Ham. Yeah, Tyler Ham.
Now, most of the games I was told about I already had in my collection, but I decided to go on the hunt anyways to see if I could find a solid title for my budget. But before I looked for something for me, of course I had to find something for my wife. Super Mario All-Stars, Super Mario World. Yep. Stopped by one more booth to give it a go, and although not one of the recommended games, we did find something we didn't have, and it still was within our budget.
Okay, so this wasn't on the list, but it is on my list, and it's the literal amount that we have in the budget. So, oh no, the registration card's been ripped out. I don't know if I need the registration card because I'm just trying to get the games, so we'll probably go with this. We'll see if there's any wiggle room.
Wiggle, wiggle room, wiggle, wiggle room. Wiggle, wiggle room, wiggle, wiggle room. Wiggle, 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 wiggle room, wiggle room.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Definitely.
I didn't have this growing up, so I can't really tell you anything about it other than what the back of the box says, which says HBO comedian Dana Good, if I say that right, I don't know celebrities, fuels Gex with over 300 hilarious one-liners and sound effects. Gex's mouth, it gets him in trouble, but his thrashing tail and suction cup paws that get him out. So he's been sucked into a media dimension, the place where cheesy 70s movies go to retire. It got voted EGM Editor's Choice Gold Award. Die Hard Game Fan says Character of the Year. Now, if you know Scott the Woz, he likes Gex. That's about all I have to say. But if you want to see gameplay, just watch till the end of the video and I'll put up a little bit of the gameplay.
So he did 50, which is like $1 or $2 below price starting, and that puts us at 75 games. So my current budget is $5. $5. It's not any of the games anybody recommended, and I couldn't find, what was the game I couldn't find? Magic Knight Rare. But yeah, thank you, I forgot that. So that's one off the list. So we're one more, now we got to go back to our booth so people don't steal stuff.